Well, I've got my fingers crossed everything's fixed and working after the problems I had with XSplit Gamecaster on Friday for Friday night 9-ball. We've now got 9-ball Scotch doubles here on Monday night. We're going to do some of this tournament. I won't be able to do all of it. The usual reasons, I have to get to bed, get to work in the morning. But we've got a tournament tonight, and we have well, let's just do a quick refresh just to make sure. We've got 1, 2, 3, 5 teams in, and they're all confirmed. So Scotch doubles 9-ball, and it is a race to 7 on the winner's side and a race to 5 on the one loss side, and it's a final race to 7 as well. So it's double elimination, 2-player teams, and being Scotch doubles, each player has a shot, and then their partner gets the next shot, and then so on and so forth. And I'm just going to check that the on-screen chat's working. In fact, I'm going to double check that by actually putting in well, that looks okay. Everything should be fine. No harm in putting in a fresh one. Right, so all my chat channels are connected, so anybody watching on Twitch and anybody watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see the chat on screen. And well, tournament should be up and running any second. Now there's a slight problem because I see that there's a 3-ball hard times match still going ahead between Stevo and Black Jagged. Now that's a problem because Black Jagged is signed up for the 9-ball Scotch doubles with his partner Senny. Now Senny is in, he's in the game, and their match is up, so something's going to have to go to actually get this first tournament match underway. We've got Black Jagged partnered with Senny and has it with Xavier X. Now that match is just finished. Well, Black Jagged has forfeited the match against Stevo, and the tournament's over. Stevo's won the final, and so this Scotch doubles match will be underway. We've also got another match up and running as well, which is between Hustlin' Howie and Simanx, who's going to be playing Jose McEwen and the Worm. And let's just have a look at the bracket, get that confirmed. Now we see that there's really only one first round match. The other matches are buys. So you've got that second round match going ahead. You've got Tin and One Pocket Slim waiting on the winner of that first match, and that's a match that provided all the players get in. Now who's missing? Well, Xavier's there. We've got 3 players in the first match. And 2 players in the second match. And the other good news is my shortcuts and my little doodle thing wouldn't work because of the latest version of XSplit. XSplit Gamecaster caused crazy things to happen where my annotations wouldn't work. Even if I changed the shortcut key, it still wouldn't work. And the other thing is my spacebar wouldn't work in the chat. In fact, that's still a bug because that's still not working, but that's probably because I've got the annotations on. Yeah, it works without the annotations on, but there's the annotations and everything work fine. We've got 4 players in each room now, so I'm going to join that first match. which is a match with Black Jagged and Seni and Xavier and Hazard. And this is a handicap tournament. So if you look at the top of the screen, you'll see that Team 1 are getting a 7 ball. That's their extra money ball. And, well, at the moment, Team 2 are at the table. I say, remember, it's just about having one shot each and doing your best to get your partner on that next ball. Now this shot that Xavier's going to play needs a little bit of bottom and a little bit of right English. If he puts too much on it and too much fire on it, he'll scratch in that left middle pocket usually. He's got to get this right. Well, he didn't get into it enough, but probably he done the best thing. Because if he'd hit that a lot more powerful, he's more likely to scratch. He's left a difficult shot for Hazard. That was always going to be a tough shot. Now, the thing is, have they got away with it? Well, not really. The 5 cuts past that 9. You need to draw away from it. I don't think Seni can pot this plain ball. Well, he's looking at a combo here, trying to play sort of 2 shots in one. He's potted the 5 and might have been looking for the billiard on the 9, because the reason for that is he's got no position on this 6 ball for his partner. And Black Jagged has got a tough shot here. He might try the reverse bank. And he's tried it and he's scratched. And it's ball in hand to Xavier. So now with ball in hand, what Xavier should be doing is looking at putting that cue ball in the simplest of positions in order to get on this 7. And that's going to be a little roll through off this 6 ball. And he's left it short. He needed to roll through another 4 or 5 inches there to make it more comfortable for Hazard. That's in good position now. So Xavier and Hazard should be off and running. And of course they didn't get the benefit of their extra money ball because it was potted earlier in the game. But it's 1-0 to Hazard and Xavier. Well, straight away we've got the danger ball. There it's there. 9 ball hanging over the pocket. And this is where you've got to be careful in the ball that you go for, that you pot it, because if the object ball finishes like this 1 ball's about to, is it going to be strong enough? Yes, it is. Well, that was a bit of a bit of a lucky shot, I should say. I don't think he played that. Maybe he did. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but the main problem there was that 1 ball could have just finished stone dead on the 9 ball and it would have been an easy winner for their opponents. But it's tied the match all up at 1-1. Now, I don't know whether there's anybody out there watching, but if there is, it would be appreciated if you just type something in the chat to check the chat's working on screen. I've got every box ticked so that it should be working, and it would be nice to see something appear on the screen. Maybe there's nobody watching like the last. Oh, there we go, that's definitely working. Thank you very much. Well, I've said this before. I'm not one of these people like you see on YouTube or you see on Twitch, where, you know, they're begging for people to like them, you know, all of that stuff. Click the like button and do this and that. The next thing, that's not what I'm here for. I'm looking to archive matches for Virtual Pool 4 so that when it isn't around, at least people can watch stuff, provided YouTube doesn't shut down and provided they don't shut down my channel or delete everything. But it's just so that we've got something to look back on, because that's something I never did with Virtual Pool 3. I never get into the recording and the streaming or anything like that. Mind you, having said that, the technology's vastly improved since when VP3 was around. The streaming quality and the internet connections and all of that stuff have vastly improved. But as I say, I'm not in the hunt for viewers or for likes or anything like that. It's you know, it's appreciated anybody that does join, but it's the same problem that Virtual Pool 4's always had in Virtual Pool 3. It's just the fact that it's a niche market, this game, because it is a PC game, but there's a lot of skill involved. There most certainly is. Yeah, I just wish there was more people playing online. That's probably the biggest disappointment, not just for Virtual Pool 4. Virtual Pool 3 was, you know, the Virtual Pool 3 had probably about a similar amount of people playing it regularly. And Virtual Pool 3 had a heck of a lot of problems back then, where you were playing it through GameSpy and you had people with firewalls and routers and having to open ports, and some people never ever got online. Yeah, I've got it set with XSplit Gamecaster, not XSplit Broadcaster. XSplit Broadcaster's the more sort of the more upmarket version. I've got both versions, but I prefer this version for streaming Virtual Pool 4 because it's got the annotations and I can do my little lines on the screen and all of that stuff. I like that. But I'm also using Restream, which is a website that actually allows you to you connect to Restream instead of connecting to YouTube and Twitch directly. You connect via Restream, and then you allow Restream to connect to your channel. So if you have a Twitch channel or a YouTube channel or umpteen other different social media things for streaming, you can connect Restream to it and stream to all of them. So I've got a Twitch account and I've got a YouTube account and I've got Restream broadcasting live to both of them. So if you're not happy with the quality of the stream, the one thing to point out is, whether you're watching on Twitch or whether you're watching on YouTube, make sure you click the little cog at the bottom right hand corner of the actual live stream screen, and that allows you to change the quality. It should be 1080 and it should be 60 FPS. But if the bandwidth is maybe different on Twitch or YouTube and one's not as good as the other, then try the other one. So you just need to go to Twitch and type in 9ball.com, you'll find me, and you can see whether that stream's any better. But both chats will appear on the screen, so you can see what anybody's typing on YouTube and what anybody's typing on Twitch. Well, see, Twitch, the thing about Twitch is, Twitch doesn't archive your videos unless you archive them yourself. Anything I live stream on Twitch will be there for, I think it's 10 or 14 days, and then it goes and then it disappears, whereas YouTube archives it all. You know, I've got videos from, what, 5 years ago on my channel, and they'll stay there unless YouTube change their rules and regulations. But streaming's very easy. Getting into it's maybe the difficult part, and learning the ins and outs of how to set things up. But if anybody ever needs any advice on streaming, I'd be more than happy to help. I've got various programs that I've tried and bought over the years. This is XSplit. I've got a premium account for it. I've got XSplit Broadcaster. I've got Bandicam. Mind you, Bandicam isn't a streaming program, it's a recording program. I've got Mirillus Action, which is very good. The only thing I don't like about Mirillus Action is that its annotations, its on-screen thing, you can't do it in a full screen game. You have to have it on a desktop, in desktop window mode, which I don't like. But anyway, back to the match. We're at 2 racks all. So Sene and Black Jagged and Hazard and Xavier are all square in the race to 7. And remember, team 1, that's Black Jagged and Sene. They're the lower rated team. They are getting the 7 ball as their extra money ball. Now that is well, that might be dangerous. That could be an attempted combo in this 9 ball. It's not set right, but well, Hazard's using the common sense. He's not even risking anything like that, and he's putting his opponents in trouble. You know, you've really got to try and get that cue ball tight to an object ball if you're trying to hook your opponent, because a lot of these guys will just jump out of the problem. Well, the 3 ball, let's have a look at the 3 ball. 3 ball's tied up, but that 3 ball's a good billiard. If you get a good position, you can clip the edge of the 3 and knock the 4 in. And this is where you have to just use your common sense and don't try and do anything miraculous with the cue ball here. Now the problem Hazard's got is that 7 ball, it's a bit in the way. Well, he's managed to avoid it, but he's just drawn it straight into the corner pocket. Again, the danger was always going to hit. If he hit that plain ball, he would have hit the 7 and got nowhere near the 3 anyway. And Black Jagged's now got ball in hand. Now he can try the billiard. He's having a look at the 3, but if he clips the left edge of the 3, he can clip the 4 and knock it in. Well, my eyes are really terrible, because there's no way I thought he could pot the 3. I need to get zoomed in closer to those balls, because I would have swore blind that that 3 ball was never going in, and Black Jagger just knocked it straight into the pocket. Well, this is a good bank, this 6 ball, right on that first diamond, clean as a whistle. And now Hazard can, well, he can draw past the 8 ball. Now, that's gone way too far. Now, the good thing about it is... Ah, that's Mal. I recognise you now, Mal. That looks nice if it nudges a 9. Oh, it's just gone a bit close. Oh, where's the cue ball going? Oh, disaster. I had to hit it at that pace to get the 9 to move to the pocket, but unlucky to scratch the middle pocket. Chess, now that is I mean, a lot of people like chess. I couldn't understand chess. I don't think I've got the brains for chess, but yeah, there's loads of people who watch. I mean, I sat for an hour and I watched an F1 race on a live stream. I think it's the latest F1 game, and I watched a broadcast that was as professional as the thing you see in the TV. Well, see, my biggest problem is seeing the edge of a ball in this game now. My eyes are going. I couldn't even see that the 3-ball actually potted earlier on there, and Boris just potted it. I thought it was stuck to the 4, and I never even closely looked at it to see there was a gap. Well, this is still the game where if you want to learn, you can learn, and you can absorb information. You know, and there's a lot of guys just like to play the game, but they don't like they don't have a great ambition for taking their game to the next level and improving. But this is what you can do with Virtual Pool 4. Oh, I can't see to cut a ball. If a ball's in a rail, I can't see to cut it now. And you know, as far as snooker goes, that's an impossibility. 9 times out of 10, if I'm trying to thin clip a red that's on the rail, I'll miss it. But cutting, especially if I have to play like the 6 ball on this table and it's on a cushion, I can't see to cut it if I'm at any distance. It's just wear and tear. It's probably staring at a screen that's done it for years. It doesn't help. So we're 3-2 now to Senate and Black Jagged. Now, just a reminder, guys. Well, that is a point. Yeah, I've tried changing the clock. It's something I'm so silly. I never even think to do it. You know that. I'll do that now just for a change. Where are we? I can't even remember where that is. Is it under miscellaneous? Yes, it is. What colour will we have? We'll have blue. Oh, Christ almighty, I can't see. That's why I don't play snooker anymore. I played snooker for 20 odd years, but now there's 2 reasons I don't play snooker. A, I can't bend over the table because, well, there's 3 reasons. I can't bend over the table because of my gut. I can't see the end of the snooker table, so any ball that's beyond the blue spot, forget that. And what was the 3rd reason? I'll think of the 3rd reason, but there's definitely a 3rd reason. I've forgotten what it is. The 3rd reason is I can't remember. I can't remember. Well, tell them just to go to. Oh, I don't know whether you're watching the stream anyway. Hang on. That's the wrong bloody thing I'm typing in. Wait a minute. That's the restream thing. What was I saying? I'm losing track now. I can't remember what I was saying. This is what happens when you get older. Oh, aye, the third reason is I've got a problem in my back as well, which really came about from actually playing snooker. I get a spasm in my back from time to time with bending over. Plus the work I'm doing now doesn't help either. But I get like a shooting spasm in my back, which I started getting by playing a lot of snooker years ago, and that's another reason why I gave it up. That and the other major reason is my snooker club shut down. It's no longer there. There only is one snooker club in my town, which has actually been there probably the longest. It's probably the oldest one, but it's still open. But the one I used to go to is long gone. So we're tied up at 3-all. And so I think it's a 40-second or a 45-second shot clock with a 15-second extension. That's usually what the 9-ball one is on Friday night. I don't know what the Scotch doubles one is, and I can't be bothered looking. We'll just think it's round about something like that. That's a good shot. Needs to miss the 7. Well, here's a test of your control. This is where the control lets a lot of guys down. You've got to play the 3-ball. This is a good example. Playing the 3-ball and sending the cue ball down to find that gap. And that's where the pace and control of the mouse speed is something. And now Hazard has got that pretty well. In the fact that he's found a gap, and a simple thing like that is something that a lot of players, they panic on when they come to playing shots like that, because they haven't got their mouse dialed in. And I always go on and on and on about it every time I stream this game. For goodness sake, spend a lot more time working on your mouse settings before you ever think you're going to improve your game, because until you get your mouse dialed in, you can forget about learning good position and better control. Well, you see, Mal, you're thinking in the next level, you see. Now, these players aren't at that stage. When you get to a certain level, you're thinking about leaving certain angles. These guys are not really thinking about leaving angles. They're just thinking about getting on the ball. That's where you then, they have a lot of basics to learn. I think Azad said his mouse was playing up. Well, that's proof of that then. Well, when you say forget the mouse, it's all touch and feel. To me, it's two things in one. Unless you have confidence with your mouse, you won't have that touch and feel. And to get that touch and feel, you have to work on the sensitivity. How many guys install this game and never ever touch the sensitivity? Probably loads of them. There's probably far too many people haven't paid any attention to it, and they wonder why their game stays at the same level. So Black Jagged and Seni are leading by 4-3. Oh, that's a crazy number, that. I mean, I can tell you now, I am using 3 different mice. Believe it or not, I'm probably the only person in Virtual Pool 4, and it was the same in Virtual Pool 3, where I actually use different mice for different games in Virtual Pool 3. Virtual Pool 4. I have my snooker mouse, which I use, and I'll tell you something, the DPI of the mouse definitely plays a big part in how Virtual Pool 4 reads things, and I think it's to do with your basic settings in your PC as well, although I don't touch the mouse settings in the PC. But I can tell you now, I'll show you, if you look at this, wait, I'll show you in this one. If you look at my mouse settings, right, I do the test where you slide the mouse across the screen and then I type in 1.5, right? and it'll show a higher setting for the shooting. It usually sets at about 17, but I set it down to 12. I put the rotation at 12, and I put the rotate slew at 12, and I never touch them. But I use different mice for different games, because each mouse acts totally differently in those same settings. I never, once I have them settings set like that, I never touch them. The only thing I do touch is my mouse. I change my mouse depending on the game that I'm playing. If I want the best control I can get, I use my old Microsoft compact mouse. It's an old thing. What the hell one is it? I'll tell you if I can find the name of it. It's a Microsoft. This is the name of it. It's a Microsoft Notebook Optical Mouse 3000. Now that's got to be at least 10 years old. I've got two of them. I'm using the old one at the moment, where the feet are a bit more worn. But that's the best mouse that gives me the best control in Virtual Pool 4. The other two mice that I use a rat mouse, which is one of these fancy ones with all the buttons on it. And believe it or not, that mouse gives me a lot more speed through the ball in Virtual Pool 4. I can hit a ball harder with that one, but I don't want to hit a ball harder in pool or snooker, so I use my old Microsoft mouse that gives me the best touch and weight a shot when I'm playing. That's the one I always fall back on, but I do chop and change. I've got the three mice that I've got sitting in front of me now that I chop and change, and I've got about another 5 or 6 lying in a drawer that I occasionally bring out. I've got two of the ones that I've got lying in a drawer I used to use for Tiger Woods about 15 years ago. That shows you how sad I am. But I can tell you that you can plug in loads of different mice into Virtual Pool 4 as long as you keep the settings the same when you start. Every mouse that I plug in has a different feel to play the game. But I'm definitely a bit sort of OCD when it comes to that. Anyway, back to this match. See, once you get me started talking about stuff, I'll just waffle on for hours. Senny and Black Jagged, 5-3 up. Oh, there's a bad miss there. Now, has he got away with this? Well, that is a thin cut, but I think it will go, but I don't know whether he's brave enough to have a bash at it. That's an excellent shot. He is brave enough, and he's got the reward now. Now, surely Black Jagged's not going to do something daft and block his partner behind the 9-ball by hitting this far too hard and going across the table twice. Surely he won't do that. No, but he's did about the next best thing. Oh, tell a lie. I'm forgetting, only needed a 7-ball. I forgot about the handicap. There, I've done it again. I do it every time there's a handicap tournament. I keep forgetting about the handicap. You only needed to pot the 7. Well, they're on the hill. So, a quick reminder as well where these guys are from. We know Black Jagged's from Germany. Senny's from Scotland. Hazard is from the UK, which usually means England. And Xavier is from the Netherlands. So we've got a mixed bunch of teams in this room. Well, the ball went down in the break. The 4-ball's gone, but there's no shot. So playing the push out. Now again, when you play the push out, you have to be wise. And let's just say that wasn't very wise. Far too heavy with that shot, and he's brought the cue ball right into the heart of the table and given Hazard a chance, because the 2-ball passes the 9, and that needs to miss the 3, and it needs to keep rolling. And that's a thing that I go on about as well, that players, when they have when the decision's made to play a push out, you have to play a positive push out. Positive in the sense that you're not doing yourself any harm. You're not you're not leaving yourself open to getting stitched up by your opponent. You might come to the table and find yourself hooked or something like that. At least don't give your opponents the opportunity to do something like that. The worst thing that'll ever happen is you'll be put back in a push out. But don't do something that was just done there and give them an opportunity to pot a ball like that. That was something that shouldn't have been on, or at least the cue ball should have been up in that top rail. Well, this is a last chance saloon sort of state of affairs here for Hazard and Xavier. They've got ball in hand. Well, that's exactly it. You know, you can watch these tournaments and you'll see guys playing push-outs and they've not thought it through. Xavier and Hazard have simply got to do something here. They can't falter in this. Now that needed to get stunned in to avoid the 5 and at least leave his partner a shot. Yeah, that's the thing. Use your head. You know, do something like that. If you're playing a push out and you're leaving things that there's not a good push out, then at least try and tie something up. But you know, the other night there in Friday Night 9-ball, somebody played a push out, and the most obvious thing you could see before he played it was at the pace that he played it, he was going to leave himself. I think whoever it was playing Larry, and of course Larry's no mug. Larry did the obvious thing that was staring you in the face, and he just buried the guy right behind 2 balls, and the guy left himself open to it. I can't remember who it was. Well, it wasn't Boris, was it? Was it Black Jagged? It might have been. Well, Xavier and Hazard are going to get a second bite at the cherry, and they're not going to get too many more bites at the cherry here. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 balls to pot, and this is why the game is so tough for a lot of lower rated players, is just not getting that control or not playing the simple shot. I mean, the simple shot here is to dig into the cue ball and just at least kill it and leave your partner a roll down in that 7. Now that will do, because again, if he just kills the cue ball, he's leaving his partner on the 8. He's not having to do anything miraculous. You don't need a big draw, just a kill shot. You see, that's just sort of rolled through. If he'd played the right shot, he would have stopped any forward movement in that cue ball. He's just run a bit higher again. But they should be home and dry. But they're still trailing by 2, as long as this 9-ball goes in. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. This is a tournament where I'm not going to be able to stream it all, simply because by about 8:30, 9 o'clock, my body will shut down, and it is 8:30 right now. I need to be in bed at 10:30 at the latest, because I'm up at 4 AM. Last week I was off all week. I had the week off, so I was able to do all of Friday Night 9-ball for the first time in a while. And the only reason I'm doing this tonight is simply because there's a tournament on, plus I wanted to double check XSplit was working properly again, because I had a bit of a problem with that on Friday night. And the main reason I had a problem is that the latest version of XSplit Gamecaster is playing up with Windows 10 and doing silly things, like my little doodle wasn't working, and my shortcut keys weren't working, and the spacebar and everything wasn't working. And after some investigation and talking to support and trying the older version of XSplit, we found out that was the problem. The old version works fine, the newer version is a no-no at the moment. So we'll keep it at that. Well, best thing about that is it's missed and fell right behind the 6-ball. Now this 2-ball won't go very far if he's going to kick behind it, because that 6-ball's going to kill the pace and keep that 2-ball more or less up at that corner, unless he hits it really hard. And plus he's got to get lucky to leave it safe. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Two ball was never going to move far, and he's left the two just in front of the cue ball. Now the problem here is that cue ball, to have any shot in this four, needs to run down here, and that's pretty good. It's not bad. It's a tight pot, but he's at least leaving his partner a shot on it. He can go for it in the middle or go for the cut in the corner. Neither are easy. And of course the pressure's on Xavier and Hazard because they simply can't afford to miss. They've got to keep focused 100% here. And he needs to get that cue ball good on the 8. Simple roll through. Don't go over ambitious again. Just a little roll through and leave your partner as straight as you can in the 9. And they'll have another one back. Now this could get very interesting in a minute or two. In goes the 9. And Hazard and Xavier are back to within 1. And a reminder as well, it's winner breaks. This looks dry. Now, let's have a quick look at what's going on here. Now, is Black Jagger going to have a smash at this? Or is he going to try and squeeze the 1 past the 9? Well, that's a nice shot. Now, is he going to get... Oh, he needed a lot more pace than that to come away. Or he needed to hit it softer, one of the two. Unfortunately, his partner is hooked, but it's an easy kick. An easy kick to hit the 2. You just need to hit that as hard as you can and hope. That's all you can do in this situation. That needs to slow down. Well, nothing's easy here. There's an easy safety. And there's another easy safety here as well. If Black Jagger can just tug that cue ball in behind the 9 and the 4 and send the 2 down the table. But he needs to get it tight to any of them. Well, he's run into them. Because the main problem with playing hook shots in Virtual Pool 4 is unless you get that cue ball tight to an object ball, there's a lot of these guys will just dig out the jump stick and bounce over. Well, that's not gone safe. Now, what about this 3 ball then? Well, it's got a couple of pockets it can go into. Oh, 2 or 3 as a matter of fact. But it's just getting that cue ball in the best position. And it's going to be a long one. And the 4's open. So it's Black Jagged and Senny's chance to clinch the match. And under a little bit of pressure. And that's run, again, it's run too far. And that's what I'm talking about, speed control with your shots. Boris has played that shot there. Too much top on it, and the cue ball just ran away. And leaving his partner with too much to do. Well, that's a good recovery. Xavier and Hazard at the table, still trailing by 1 and looking to take this to a final rack decider. and it is not difficult to do. It's the same thing you've got to be doing as doing the simple thing when the balls are lined simply. You don't go over elaborate. But that needed to run through a lot further because we're now the wrong side of the 7. Now, the shot to play would be to let it run. The danger though is as you're heading up towards that corner. Well, it's gone tighter. Now it needs a little bit of luck here. And he's not got it. Well, what do you do now? You're trailing by 1, and you would think if Hazard doesn't get this safe, is it going to double bank? Yes, it is. Oh, a sigh of relief with that one going in. But this 9 ball for a final rack decider. Now, what was Black Jagged and Senny leading by? They were up what? Was it 6-3? Something like that. Well, it's still a good comeback. Hazard's broke off, but there's a scratch. Ball in hand for Black Jagged. Now, I don't think he can get to that one. Can he get? Oh, he can get the one to. He can make the possible combo, and he's billiarded it in. Excellent shot. And after Xavier and Hazard's comeback, well, they paid the ultimate price for that scratch in the break because Black Jagged has potted a 1 and played the billiard onto the 7. Their extra money ball, and that clinches the match by 7 racks to 6. That's a good finish. Right, so I think that's the first result come in. Right, let's have a quick... wait a minute, wrong button, hang on. There we go. So that's the first result through. And now Black Jagged and Senny are going to be playing their match with Tin and One Pocket Slim. Meanwhile, who's playing? Hustling Howie and Simanx are playing Jose and the Worm. And Hustling Howie and Simanx are up 5-3. Now, Black Jagged and Senny, it's difficult to say. There certainly will be a handicap in that match, although not much. The 7 ball again. It's just updated. 7 ball. Right, so let's nip, while they're about to start that match, we'll nip into the other match that's going on at the moment, the other second round match, and we'll see the finish of that one. If I can get in, that is. Right, so here we are. It's 5-3 to Simanx and Hustling Howie. Well, it's now 6-3. And Team 1, who are Hustling Howie and Simanx, they're getting the 6 ball as their extra money ball. So this is pretty much like the match we've just watched. So we're at a state now where Hustling Howie and Simanx just need the 1 rack, and Jose and the Worm are going to have to dig deep. Now, what does that look? Can he can just see an edge of that. No, I don't think he can see enough of it at all. I just think he could see an edge in the 1. No, he can't. Well, I think he was thinking a lot more about the 4 ball than he was actually thinking about the 2 ball there. trying to do his best to keep his partner and give him a shot in that 4. So, well, we can see the 5 ball goes into the middle pocket past the 8. Plenty of room there. So Jose just needs to kill the cue ball. Stone dead where the 4 ball is. Leave his partner on that 5. Well, again, this just looks fairly straightforward if you play it simple enough. Now the worm just needs to roll through far enough, not too far. And that there is way too far. And now Jose just has to cut this pretty much plain ball and get the pace right. He doesn't want to finish on the short side of that 9 ball, and that's what's happening. Jose's giving me the impression he's not playing with a lot of confidence. He's playing a lot of these slow rolls, and that's what happens. Good evening, welcome to the stream. Yeah, that was a poor one. As I say, Jose's played about 3 shots there, and every single one was a little slow roll. He should have been stunning them in firmly and confidently, but having said that, there is your lifeline, albeit it's a bloody tough one. The worm is going to have to dig this 9 ball in and get control of that cue ball. He's digging down, but this is not easy, into a blind pocket. And what a shot. Now that is confidence. Now Jose needs to step up to the plate here. He doesn't play an awful lot of 9 ball, but he definitely needs to relax that mouse and go through the shot. He's just chickening out in a lot of the shots from what I've seen so far. So it's back to 6-4. We still might have a match on in this room as well. Now let's see what Jose's doing here. Now this is not easy. I mean, he can just, if he draws it back, he's going to leave his partner an awkward cut in the 3, but there's not an awful lot he can do. He's dead straight. If he draws right back, he might go round the corner and get lucky. And he's not got lucky. But now, what does the worm do? Does he try a reverse bank on this? Cue ball's going to run down to the bottom of the table here. No, he's doing the wise thing. Again, there's somebody that's using their head a little bit. You know, don't be rash. Don't be doing something silly. Do something common sense and put your opponents in trouble. So, is everybody happy with what they're seeing on YouTube and what they're seeing on Twitch? I'd be interested to hear, because I'm streaming in both of them at the same time. Is it buffering or anything like that? As long as it's good, that's fine. Right, so Jose's just putting his partner in trouble here. Now you see that shot there, the shot I would have played, I don't know what the angle was like, but it would just been a little tight draw back to get onto that 4 ball. He's left his partner in a no man's land shot here with more work to do than he should have had. And well, the worm is keeping them in it at the moment. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad it's working okay. And I'm glad my little doodles are back. I missed them. That's going into that pocket there, just in case you don't know. Oh, now, well, I think I've jinxed him. Jose's falling apart here, folks. his bottle has gone. And I'll tell you what he's doing. He's thinking too much. He's thinking too much about what he's doing, and he's worried about what he's doing. He should be playing his game, and that's where he's going wrong. You can sense it when somebody's, you know, the way he's playing this tentative way, and not been confidently hitting the balls. And it's only the fact that Hustling Howie's and Simanx can't put the balls away that they're still in this match. Well, I've never had, I've only got my shooting, I've just got the default shooting control on my mouse. I've never had English on the, I've always used the E button, the default button for that. Yeah, Jose is better than that. He's too, he's more worried about doing something wrong, and see, the more worried you get about doing something wrong, the more likely you're going to do something wrong, and that's what he's doing. He should be playing a lot more confidently. It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter if there's 30 folk in the room watching. You play your game. And I'll tell you something. If I was in that room with Jose, I'd be telling him that. You know, I'd be saying, listen, just relax and hit the ball and do the right thing rather than, you know, choking on it. And he's choking in these shots. That's exactly what I sense. So, it's 6-5. You know, the first thing I do every time I install VP4, which I've had to do over the years quite a few times, the first thing I'll always do before I go to the mouse or anything, I go straight into the key mapping and I map my replay button to my backspace key. It's the first thing I do all the time, because when I don't do it, sure as anything, when I'm playing the game, bang, I'll hit the bloody R button when I'm trying to find the E button, and I'll do a replay middle of the game. So that's the first thing I always do. That's my golden rule. Always remap your replay button. And I do that every time. It's just a force of habit. Well, I don't think... Can you see enough of that one ball to actually pot it? No, he can't. And Simanx does far too much of this as well. I hope he watches this, or if he's watching this stream and listening, he does an awful lot of banging. And to do an awful lot of banging means that you haven't a lot of ideas in your head about what you're actually trying to do. And you need to get that out of your game. You need to start doing positive stuff rather than just having a slam, because at the end of the day it doesn't get you anywhere. Well, that's the thing you should do whenever you're messing with a mouse, right? And you're looking for control. Whenever if I ever get a new mouse, the first thing I do is go with what Virtual Pool 4 says. When I do the automatic setup for the mouse, I'll go with that. I'll always reduce the rotate, slew. I always lower them right down anyway. But I'll then break off and snooker, and I'll do that for an hour or so and tweak the sensitivity until every time I'm breaking off, I'm not only getting into baulk, but I'm getting nearer to the baulk cushion. Plus, I'll lag up and down the table to get to the kitchen each time and get close to that bottom rail. But I've got one mouse. See, that's the thing. I've got one mouse that does that better than every other mouse I've got, and that's my old Microsoft mouse. That's why I always fall back in that one, because that's the one that I've got the best control with those settings that are in. But like I say, it doesn't matter what mouse I plug in. I don't touch... Once I've got the settings in Virtual Pool 4, I never touch them again. They will stay like that until I need to reinstall VP4 again. Oh, well, Hustling Howie. He's missed a couple and left him hanging at the wrong time. And here's Jose with a 6 ball in the pocket and needing to get out for that 7. Now, he doesn't want to draw too heavy here. That looks good pace. How's the angle? Well, it's dead straight. Now, that can be a problem. Now, you know what I'd be doing? I'd be very careful here, because if he drew that right up the table, he could have drew in the pocket, which is why he didn't go right through with that. And this is a test of Jose's nerve. This to go to the final rack. And in it goes. And that was better played. The right pocket pace as well. So, we're going all the way in this one. 6 racks all. And the worm to break off in the 13th and deciding rack. Oh, well, there's a disaster. A scratch and a break. Now, I was going to say it's not going to be easy to run out. Certainly with the 2 ball on the rail and the 3 over the pocket, it's certainly going to be easy enough to billiard the 3 ball in. One way or another if he gets the cue ball up the table. Now let's see what Simanx does here with ball in hand. He could certainly bring the cue ball out to here and leave his partner the cut down the rail. He could do that. But this is about getting the right pace. Now, again, didn't need to hit that with all that draw, but he's still at least giving his partner the cut. And Hustling Howie doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball, he just needs to leave him a sight on this 3 ball, and that's unlucky. Let's have a look what we got. Oh, you can still see it. So, nevertheless, it's a chance for Jose and his partner. And likewise for Jose, just do anything but hook your partner on that 3 ball. Now I'm sure the angle's there, just to come off the rail and get the cue ball out to about there, somewhere like that, for that 4 ball. Well, I don't know whether there was that much of an angle, but it might have needed a bit of help in English to get the cue ball over to where I was talking about, because this is not easy. See again, Jose is just he's thinking too much about not making a mistake, and it's happening. He has to go through with a shot, play it with a lot more confidence than he's showing, because that's what's letting him down. But having said that, he shouldn't have been in that position. His partner should have done a lot better for him, and he's putting the pressure on Jose doing that. But then again, the worms actually kept him in this match pretty much. Well, this will be a good shot. This is a... Oh, again, forgetting about the bloody handicap again. That's twice I've done it. The extra money ball, the 6 ball goes down, and that gives Hustling Howie and Simanx the win by 7 racks to 6. Right. Now, where are we up to? Let's look at that match. Where do we got? We've got Black Jagged and Senny is 2-all with 10 and 1 Pocket Slim. We might as well join that match now. Now, the thing is, Jose asked me to partner him for the tournament, but as I say, if we went if we somehow went later on into the tournament, there's no way I could finish it. More than likely not. It just depends on how the racks go and whatever, but I just can't guarantee to stay in a tournament, which is why I don't play in them, because I'm, you know, I'm far too tired when I join this, and then I have to go to bed early. But I'll tell you, if Jose was my partner, I'd be shouting in his ear right now. You can guarantee that. I'd be telling him to play the shots and play them with a lot more confidence, because he can play the shots. He can play the shots. I mean, he just needs to relax and not worry. The one thing you don't do is worry about play. You play the game and you relax and play the game, because if you can't do that, then you know you're going to start doing what Jose does and not going through in the shot and chickening out and, you know, slow rolling them. The secret to this game and all of these games is playing the right shot. And if it needs that bit of spin, or if it needs that stun, or if it needs that draw, then you play the right shot. You don't do some half-hearted, you know, wrong way of doing it. You know, it's difficult to describe, but if you know the shot, then you play the shot. And there's about 3 or 4 shots that Jose's done there where he should have played the right shot rather than these half-measured slow rolls. Right, 2-all. Black Jagged comes to the table hook, but it's the old hit and hope, bang, and hope you get lucky. Oh, I'd be hitting it a lot harder than that. I'd be slamming that ball. Now, if I'd hit that hard enough, look at where the 7 ball's going. That's gone in. If he'd amped that and battered it round the table, I'd probably potted that. Right, simple shot for tin. Pot the 8 ball. Cue ball's going to come off the rail by about 6 inches. And leave Slim a little roll in the 9 to take the lead. Of course, Jose's predominantly a snooker player. He's not familiar enough with the 9 ball game. You know, he doesn't play 9 ball if he can help it. If there's a snooker room, he'll play snooker. He'll never play 9 ball. So, you know, I'll at least credit him with that he doesn't have that 9 ball experience. At least he doesn't show it in this game, and he doesn't play it often enough to probably give him that type of confidence. But like I say, you'll get out of this game what you want to get out of this game if you want to learn, and it's all about observation. If you're wondering why there's a lot of very good guys play this game, then you really should start watching them and how they're playing shots, how they're good at position, how they've got the pace of the shot, all of that stuff. And then, you know, you should be aspiring to be getting as good as them. But that's all part and parcel of learning the game. You have to learn the shots, learn how to control that cue ball, how to get the best out of a shot. And once you get all of those factors, it makes you a much better player. Instead of just being able to string 2 balls together, all of a sudden you're finding that it's a lot easier to get on certain shots. And that's how you run racks. That's how you make breaks in snooker. So Senny and Black Jagged. Well, Senny's had a blast there. Again, for no particular reason. For the reason I say that is that it isn't going to take a lot on that 3 ball to pot the 5. The 5's going to the jaw, but if you hit it the right way, it's going in every day of the week. So there's no way he needed to slam that too. Well, Slim's looking at the 3 and he doesn't think it goes, but if he gets the cue ball up far enough, well, I think it needed, maybe I don't, maybe, again, my eyes are not the best thing in the world, but I'm sure he could do something to try and make that. Skim it. Or he could even billiard it in from that angle. Well, he got that wrong. He missed a touch in the 3. And I think Tin's eyes are going as bad as mine. Well, Tin had the right idea. He just didn't hit the 3 to try and clip that 5 ball in. So, ball in hand again to Black Jagged. Now, this table is asking to be run out here. Well, here's the major problem with this one, is getting the cue ball back up the table for this 6. And that looks a good pace. I like the pace in that shot. That's excellent. And Black Jagged just needs to make sure he gets this cue ball off the rail. If he gets it off the rail and his partner's not getting in and hampering him, then there's no reason not to get down here for this 8 ball. But it's the old one I keep talking about. If you're going to get this right, what am I talking about? That's the money ball again. Forgot about the handicap. Third time tonight. Third time I've forgotten about it. I wish I would pay more attention to the HUD, because once I get that into my head I'll remember it, but I keep forgetting. I'm so busy concentrating on the shots. So it's now all square again. 3 racks all. 8 ball has gone down in the break. A shot in the 1. Simple enough shot in the 2. Now here's a confidence shot, is leaving your partner on this 3. So there's a big window to get onto the 3. Now does he just sort of leave it up there? You see that there is lacking the confidence to play that little draw, to come back a bit, to leave the 3 a lot easier. You see what I mean? This is where players have to work on their cue ball. You have a shot where you can play the little draw, just hit the cue ball just below the equator and no more, and hit it with the power, and you'll get that little draw that makes the cut in the 3 a lot easier. Whereas he's up here and he's left his partner really nothing. It's instances like that that people are found wanting when they don't have the confidence to get the control on that cue ball. And these are aspects of a lot of players' games that they have to really spend time on, to have that confidence to play the right shot. That one there was a sort of nothing shot that really left not a lot on for his partner and a difficult cut. And more importantly, it's given Tin and One Pocket Slim a chance. Now you would think that, you know, Slim pretty much knows what he's doing. The difficulty is playing this shot with the right pace and the right angle on this 6 to make it as easy for his partner to get him down for that 7. And, well, this is just a little stun. Again, it's a confidence shot. If you know the shot, you play the little stun or the little roll, as long as you've got the angle, and that will do. And he's left his partner a nice angle on the 7. And the only thing you don't do is underhit this. You get up to the middle pocket at worst, and at least leave your partner the shot. Well, Slim's got a wee bit over eager there. He's still okay. And that shot by Black Jagged, not getting his partner good in the 3, has cost him. That's cost him the rack. So it's now 4-3. And Slim has passed the break to his partner for rack number 8. I mean, I hope that, you know, if any of these guys watch this, I hope they don't ever think that I'm being overcritical. I'm thinking on ways that they can look, aspects of their game that they can look to improve, and it's all about the practice on certain shots. And once you have them in your shot library, once you've stocked up in those type of shots, then the next time you come to a type of shot, you know you have to play that type of shot, then you don't think about it. You instinctively play the right shot. And there's an awful lot of evidence of where players are just lacking in that confidence because they either, you know, they don't know the shot, they're not confident enough to try and play the shot. This is how you improve the game. You go for those type of shots and you practice them. Even in a tournament, you have a go at it. Because it's, you know, it's not a matter of life and death, it's a matter of trying to improve your game. And unless you're prepared to have a go at them and play the right shots, which I might add, it's all about watching players playing the right shots as well. Spend some time watching some of these guys. And if you can absorb what you're seeing and how they're playing the shots, then hopefully it'll help yourself and help your game. Now, where's that 7 ball going? Right, now, well, Black Jagged can only see the edge of the 3. Now, if he really slammed this and cut the 3, if it hits that 4, surely the 7's got to go in. Oh, that's a good one. I don't think his partner's going to be very happy though. What am I thinking about? I forgot about it again. I've done it again. That's 4 times. Oh dear. It's a 7 ball money ball. Extra money ball. Oh, that tells you I'm tired. I've done it 4 times so far tonight where I've totally forgotten about the handicap. But anyway, Black Jagged did the right thing that was required. Get that 7 ball in the hole. Oh dear. So we're tied up again, 4 racks all. And team 1 are getting the 7 ball as the extra money ball. Oh, now what's happened here? Well, not a lot. Now I think, let's have a look at the angle. I think a natural angle will bring that cue ball across here for the 4, so it's all about pace. Oh, no. When I say all about pace, you know, look at what Boris has done there. Do you honestly think he was thinking about what he was doing there? You know, that shot there, you know, if you've played the game long enough, your natural instinct tells you the natural angle on that shot. A plain ball shot would be just to bring the cue ball down here. He's hit that like a sledgehammer. He'd certainly never played to leave the combo, never in a million years. But they've got away with it. But that was not in the plan. I don't care what they say. But it gives them the lead. 5 racks to 4. I think this time it's a dry break though. Well, Slim has got enough experience in the game. Now, has he got enough? And can he and Tin run this rack? Well, not with that start, they won't. Straight into the middle pocket. And ball in hand for Senny, who's going to have a blast at the 2-7 combo. And I'm remembering that the 7 is the extra money ball. No, he's looked at it. I don't think he fancies it. Far too much distance. Right, I'm going to have to get a drink. Back in a sec. If I can find my bottle, that is. It's a bit too far. It's still okay as far as there's a pot on, but Black Jagged's going to have to watch this cue ball. The scratch is on into the middle pocket. He's avoided that, but once again, far too heavy with the shot. And both of those last two shots that Black Jagged's played way too heavy. Now, how's their luck? Well, I'm pretty certain Tin's got to go for the combo here. I mean, there's a bit of space between the two, and the 8-ball wasn't lined directly up at the pocket. Maybe if he had taken a wee bit more time, he could have lined them up better. But as it stands, there's nothing easy left here for Black Jagged. And going back to those two shots that Black Jagged just played, I mean, that pot that he's played there was a nice pace to try and hold for the 7. But as I say, those other distance shots there, he's wellying them. And again, it's a confidence when able to play the right pace of shot to get that cue ball down to the right spot. But it doesn't matter. It's now 6-4. The extra money ball's been potted. A couple of balls have gone in the break. One of them, I think, was the 9-ball, and that'll be respotted. In fact, the two money balls have gone, the 9 and the 7, so they're now tied up. Now, they may well be split up here. Oh, no, they won't. One ball doesn't go. Well, Senny could use the 4-ball as a stopper. Well, he's gone the other way. Well, that hasn't worked out. Now, why he didn't play that shot where he was using the... he could have sent the 1-ball over here and used the 4-ball as a stopper to stick the cue ball in behind the 9 and the 7. Well, Slim has lost his mojo as well. 1 ball's hung up. Now this is again another little pace shot. Get that cue ball up to the right middle pocket. And that again, well, was he deliberately leaving him the long shot on the 2? The 5-ball is going nowhere. To me, he should have been trying to get the cue ball up to about there. So this is the problem ball, the 5. Now, how's he sitting on that? Well, a gentle pot in the 4, he could run the cue ball through and at least leave a cut in the 5. Because the 5's not going anywhere else other than into that middle pocket. There's asking a lot to get a cue ball over there, but that's Black Jagged's best shot of the night as far as getting position goes. It's a bit straight, but at least Senny's got a pot. And I think he's going to draw into that 8-ball. I don't know whether he can avoid it. But the 8-ball's done them a favour as well. It's just killed the pace. And now, this is where Black Jagged... Now, does he play the draw with a little bit of left English in the bottom so that it goes that way, but not too much? I don't know whether he did or he didn't, but where's the cue ball going? Now, I think that's really unlucky. I'm going right behind it this time to make sure. I don't know. I think he might be able to squeeze past that. Maybe not. Well, he's managed to squeeze round it. That's a good shot. And of course, that was the money ball. And Black Jagged and Senny have won the match by 7 racks to 4. Well, Tin and Slim are going to have to work through that one lost side. So we've now got a hot seat match to see who gets into the final. Meanwhile, if we look at the one lost side, this will update in a second or two, by the way. Right, we've got Jose McEwen and the Worm are now going to play Tin and One Pocket Slim. And on the winner's side, we've got Hustlin' Howie and Simanx are going to be playing Senny and Black Jagged. And that's for the hot seat. So I think what we'll do is we'll look at this one lost side match once it gets up and running. I'll have another drink. We've got two players in the room. Of course, the other two guys have maybe gone for a drink themselves or taking a bathroom break. Right, so three players are in. One Pocket Slim, Jose and the Worm. And Tin still sitting in the lobby. He might be waiting in the alarm to remind him the room's up. But we'll go in anyway and get ourselves a seat. And remember, the one lost side is just a race to 5. I'm sure that there's just a 5-minute deadline. Once the room goes up, you think you've got 5 minutes to get yourself in the room. If you're sitting at the PC and you've got VP4 up front, you will get an audible alarm letting you know that the room is up. I think you'll get a couple of reminders, but if you don't get in the room within that 5-minute deadline, then it will time out and you will lose the match. So that's the worst thing you don't want to do, especially when you're playing a Scotch doubles match, is to stitch your partner up and forget to join the room. Well, we're all up and running now. We're going to lag off. I don't know whose cue's what. In fact, the cues are both the same. Yeah, they're both the same cue as far as I can see, but who's who I don't know. But certainly the player on the right has won the lag, and that's Jose McEwen. Now, the other thing is, I've just noticed, and the good thing for my memory is, there is no handicap in this match, so it's a straight race to 5. The 8 ball has gone in, the 1 ball has gone in. They've got a very thin cut in the 2. Well, let's see if Jose does play his game. The Worm's trying to give his partner all the encouragement to get him to relax and just play his shots. Well, there's a gap there. I mean, the gap is fairly straightforward enough. We'll do that in red. To come off the rail, side rail, and out. The tin's way off that one. He focused a lot more in getting onto the 3 than he did potting the 2. Well, Jose played that with the right pace there to get on the 3. He's left. I don't think he's left anything. Well, that's not going to get to a rail, so it's ball in hand for the worm. And it's going to be a 2-9 combo by the looks of it. Or maybe not. Well, he's got the chance of a 2-9 combo. Or he's got the opportunity to bury his opponent, but I'd be having a slam at that 2-9 combo. Well, if you're going to play a safety with ball in hand, then at least get the ball tied up and locked up. He's done nothing there, so now they've got themselves in trouble. And Jose is going to have to dig out the jump stick. And he's not going to be able to get his partner on this 3 ball. Well, I don't understand why he didn't take the 2-9 combo. That, to me, that was the first mistake. And Jose did well to actually avoid the scratch there because he was a bit straight. But the worm's not going to have any shot other than trying to jump and trying to combo in this 3-6. Well, at least that's safe. Slim, I don't know whether he can see enough of the rail. He can certainly play it with a bit of English to try and kick the 3 in. And that's a good shot. And that's the benefit of being a 1-pocket player. Slim's pretty good at using the rails. And Tin's going to scratch, is he? Oh no! It's just hanging on the edge. Well, the reverse bank is on for Jose. I don't know about the cut, but certainly can reverse bank it. And in it goes. And that cue ball is maybe going to finish nice behind that 5 for the long straight 5. Well, it's just off straight, but again, the worm doesn't need to slam this in. He just needs to roll it in. The cue ball's heading towards the 6 anyway, and that's going to the jaw. So 1-pocket Slim has a chance to redeem himself and his partner here by pinching this first rack. They're not going to get a better chance to do it. Everything's sitting there in the open. There's no excuse. Well, the shot to play is off that right side rail, left side rail, and get out. Well, he's come across, he's still left him a shot. And Slim's left with the task of getting the cue ball down here for the 9. Again, end rail, side rail, and back over to the left. And he's playing this with a bit of right English as well to send it around the corner better. And this needs to just slow up a bit, and that's the fatal mistake, is going behind the 9. When you start going too far and you don't finish there and you end up going behind the 9, it puts the pressure on your partner playing the cutback, and that's the end result. So there's a big margin of error. When the 9 ball is there, there's a big area here to get this cue ball into. Anywhere in there in this area, that zone is where you want to leave your partner, but anywhere down here is a no-no. Nowhere in that area there. You always leave your partner in trouble. And that's cost them the rack. That's how to give away a rack when you only had to pot, what, 3 balls? And getting yourself out of line. And that's how you lose them. And we've got a danger ball straight away. There's the 9 ball, the money ball, sitting pretty much over the corner. There's nothing really near it at the moment, but you've always got to be wary with the shots that you're playing, that you don't send a ball down towards that 9. Well, something has to hit a rail here. And that was a good one. Now, well, Slim's going to have to use his ingenuity here to hit this 1. I'm looking to see where he can get an angle to get near it. Lots of left English trying to kick in behind it off the end rail. That was really tough. But the most important thing about that shot is he got lucky and he didn't disturb the 3 and the 6. So it means that if the Worm and Jose are going to do anything in this rack, they're going to have to deal with that problem there on the left hand side of the table. And you can see that the Worm is thinking, and that's turned out to be not a bad shot, unfortunately. No, he's okay. I thought that 2 ball had gone past the pocket, but he can cut it into the middle because it's far too tight to get past that 9 ball, is it? Oh no, it'll go by. Well, Jose's maybe spending a bit more than he wants to thinking about this shot, because to me the shot to play would be the cut. Yeah, again, why he didn't look at the cut, because the cut gives you an angle to go from off there down to here into this area, anywhere down there, and you've got a shot on that on the 3 hanging over the pocket. Well, to get nice on that red, it would have been the little cut into the middle pocket, not trying to squeeze it past the 9 ball. Again, you're just giving yourself more to worry about playing that shot, and it's given Slim and Tin a chance to steal the rack again. Now remember the last rack, Slim went too far and found the low side of the 9 ball and left Tin too much to do. This has gone dead straight in a 6, and I think Tin can just roll through it. Now there's a little angle there, so there won't be any problem here for Slim to drop Tin behind that 9 ball, so that they should definitely be on the board now. Now he had the angle, so he just needed to hit it with enough stun to get the pace in the cue ball to get it up to the 9. Now that's the right shot. That's what I'm talking about. When you have the right angle, then you have to play the right shot to get there. And it needed a firm stun and just let the cue ball do the rest. Well, Slim's broke off in rack number 3, and it's come up dry. Now can you see a feather edge of that 1? Well, that's worked out nice. And that's worked out perfect. The 2-3 are set as a combo. They're dead set. They're going. that 3 ball's going in every day. So it needs to just be gentle. He doesn't want to send a 2 ball away, and he's played that well. Well, this would be nice if Tin and Slim could run out in this rack, because that's a tremendous start to the rack. Can they back it up? Well, this is going to be the first test, because this isn't a great angle to get onto that 5 ball. It's going to go the wrong side of the 5, and that's what that's the problem that Slim has. So he's at least left his partner the bank on the 5, and as long as Tin doesn't butcher this far too hard, he can put a little draw on it and go for the bank in the 5, which he's got. Where's the cue ball going though? Oh, that's another disaster. That is unlucky. Just a bit too much pace in the cue ball. The double bank was always on, and they've blown their chance again. So ball in hand to Jose and the worm. And I think, well, I mean, look at what's left here. As long as Jose can get to the right hand side of the table, or at least leave that angle on the 7, it shouldn't be difficult to drop behind the 8. And that is perfect. Now this needs a little stun, just to go over past that 8 ball. You don't want to roll into the 8 ball. You don't want to take any risks. So he's played the stun. The cue ball's not in the best of positions, but in all honesty, Jose should just roll this in and just leave his partner the long shot in the 9. It's fairly straight, and he's got to get this. He surely can't miss this. Well, stranger things happen in this game, don't they? You'd have thought he couldn't have missed that. And Slim going for the kick on the 9, and that's a perfect shot. Perfect execution. Kick off the side rail. Not only that, but the weight of shot just to drop that 9 ball in. And they've managed to salvage the rack out of pretty much nothing. That missing the 9 has cost them. And Tin and Slim lead by 2 racks to 1. A reminder again, it's just a race to 5 on this 1 lost side. Well, what's happened to Tin here? Is he fallen asleep? Oh no, he's typing. Are we out of sync? Well, that's what I was thinking. You're playing... Oh, right, no. I think it's just Tin's Dutch sense of humour that's coming out. I thought he meant he was out of sync. Anyway, the break is dry. Jose at the table. And there wasn't really an awful lot he could do to get his partner anywhere good on that too. But there's a good safety on. Can stick the cue ball in behind that 5, but he's hit it far too heavy. Now again, another example of where a player and his mouse settings, to me his sensitivity is too high, because if you have a good control, there's no way you hit that shot far too heavy and you can't stick them behind that 5 ball. The 2 balls ran too far. And you'll see plenty of examples of that from players where they try to play a delicate shot and that, you know, 9 times out of 10 they'll hit it far too heavy because they don't have the mouse setting right and they don't have the confidence to be able to play the shot. There, I've confused Tin by typing out a sink because he doesn't understand what I'm talking about now. Anyway, concentrating the match. The Worm and Jose at the table. Now, well, this is a delicate, just a delicate little pot in the 4. You don't need to let that cue ball run away. Just gentle. Now, that's gone. Well, there's a slight angle. A slight angle in the pot that allows him just to bring the cue ball off the end rail or the side rail. Well, he's actually straightened that up. To play that shot, he needed a bit of English to straighten it up, and now he's ended up in the middle of no man's land for his partner. Jose looks as if he's lining up the cut into the corner. He's missed that, and they're going to leave this 6 ball on. Well, there's a bit of pressure on this for Tin and Slim because it's only a race to 5, and although they're 2-1 up, you really got to expect to run this table, and again, Tin has overcut the 6. Now, even more important, when you get another bite at the cherry, you have to take it. Got to take the cue ball up the table. Well, that's gone farther than you would have liked. But Jose's in a similar situation. Although the 7 ball's away from the pocket, he should be cutting it into the middle. The only problem I can see with this shot is he's in danger of hitting the 9 ball, and that might kill the cue ball. If he takes the pot into the corner, because he's close to the rail, there's a risk of scratching the right hand middle. Well, he's gone for the corner, and he's played it well. That was well controlled, as well as he possibly could. Likewise for the Worm. He just needs to roll this 8 ball in. The cue ball's certainly going to head up close to the corner, and he's not got there. And I think their chance is gone, and it looks like Slim and Tin are going to open up the gap. So, too many chances have come and gone, and in the end, Tin and Slim now lead by 3 racks to 1. Where's the 8 ball going? Well, it thought about it, but nothing has dropped. And Jose has got no shot. And not an awful lot. An awful lot on for him, so he's going to try the jump, try and knock that 1 over onto the 8, I think. It doesn't look as if he's aiming to do it. Oh, he is aiming to do it. Well, that's worked out okay. Got the pot. At least gets him out of the trouble. Well, the one's gone for the cut. In actual fact, he ended up overcutting it, but it's still now another opportunity for Tin and Slim. We can see where the problem lies. The problem lies where the 3 ball is. And that 6 ball has been nudged. And now it's pretty much going to be a bank for Slim. Oh, good evening, Andy. Welcome aboard. You can either watch this on YouTube or Switch. What am I saying? Switch for Twitch. Now, again, this is a final reminder. It's 10 minutes to 10. I probably won't see the final. I'm going to have to pull the plug soon enough. but this was really just an impromptu, because there was enough guys signed up for the Scotch doubles tournament, and because I had the problems with XSplit Gamecaster the other day there, it was just really to see everything was back up and running okay, and it is, which I'm happy about. Well, that was always going to be a really tough shot. 2 ball buried behind the 5. So, ball in hand to the worm, and if ever they were going to have to take some sort of chance, it's going to be now. Got to get themselves back into this match. Now, Jose's got a nice little angle in the 2 here. He can just punch that 2 along the rail, get the cue ball off the rail, and get his partner on the 3. And likewise, the worm has got the nice little angle, so it's just about potting the 3. You don't need to think about the cue ball other than not over hitting this. And that will do it. Now here's an instance where Jose simply cannot leave his partner straight on this 7 ball. He has to leave an angle, one way or the other. It doesn't matter if he goes too close to the side rail, it doesn't matter. But if he finishes up there, that's perfect, because the angle is perfect for the cue ball to pot that 7, and it comes off the rail and out, and at least gives his partner a good sight in the 9. So that's a good rack to eventually steal, and it gets Jose and the worm back to within 1. No, I don't think anything's gone again. Nope, dry break, but not an awful lot on here for Slim. I don't think there's an awful lot you can do. He might end up just pushing out. We could probably push out. Yeah, he could push out to here. Oh, my lines have gone. Hang on a minute. I don't see a problem with pushing out to there, because he doesn't leave a lot on. But his second choice isn't that bad either, because the cut in the 1 is a no-no, especially when you're going to scratch the middle pocket. Well, Jose's got the snooker, but there's more than enough room for Tin to jump over that 2 ball and pot the 1. And looking at the top end of the table, well, something has to give. Whoever gets to pot the 3 ball has to move something here, because that 7 ball's doing no good to anybody blocking off the 4. Now, Slim doesn't want to get too ambitious here. He wants to leave an angle on that 3. He doesn't want to run the cue ball into them at the moment, I don't think. He just wants to leave an angle. Let's see what he's got. Well, there's the cardinal sin. He's gone far too far, and he's buried Tin. And you wouldn't expect a player of Slim's class to have such a poor control. But Tin has actually dug them out of a hole. That's an excellent recovery. And there's a shot on in the 4. Or is there? I don't think there is there? Can he get by that knuckle? I think he can. And then again, looking at it from that way, it's difficult to say. I think he can. I think he can pot this. That's excellent. Needs a nice kiss in the 5. Well, the kiss was there. Now, is there a possible combo? Well, I don't know what he tried there. Well, the 5 goes past the 9. So, what it boils down to is that the worm and Jose have a chance to square the match here. So important. The 5 is gone. Now once again, any kind of angle on this 5, as long as there's an angle there, sorry, on the 7, not the 5. Let's have a look and see what that looks like. Well, see, he's finished straight, so he can only go forward or back, and that's now but again, you think about it, there's a big margin of error. You just draw back to here or go around the corner and get out to here, and he's pretty much followed the line, and at least he's given it simple for Jose. So all he has to do is just roll it in. So that's again a good recovery, but it's got these guys back into the match. We're now all square, 3 racks all. It's anybody's game. Now something went in, I don't know what it was, but something definitely hit a pocket. What's disappeared? The 7 ball. Now, can you see that to pot it? Yes, you can. Now I don't know whether the angle that's there would bring him back towards that 4 ball to actually hold for the 2. Let's have a look. Oh, he's overcut it. Yeah, I think, I mean, I knew the cue ball was going up somewhere towards the 4, but it was asking a lot to play a dead on the spot positional shot to get a shot at that too. It wasn't easy. Well, it's a combo, there's no doubt about that. Now, this shot would be fine if the 6 ball wasn't there. And Slim knows that. He has to, if he's going to play the shot to get down for the 3, he has to avoid the 6. So that's why he hasn't played the stun, and he's now left in a tough cut in the 3. And Tin's overcut. And that the root cause of that problem was the 6 ball. It was in the line of where the cue ball was going to go, and the shot for that Slim was going to play. And that's why he had to play the little roll through to try and get Tin as best he could onto the 3 on the right hand side. And it was always going to leave him a tough shot. Now, that 3 is very tight if it's a bank past the 5, put it that way. And if he was playing for the snooker behind the 8 ball, well, I think he was hoping that that 3 ball was going to hit something at the top end of the table, and it hasn't. It's given the worm and Jose a chance. And once again, these balls are sitting wide open. They just want to be knocked into a hole. Well, Jose needs to run through on this 5, off the end rail and up somewhere towards that right middle pocket. He needs to get down here, and he needed to go down a bit more. The pot's still on, but likewise for the worm, he needs to come off this bottom rail and back up into the heart of the table. And he's overhit it. He's going to leave Jose in trouble, I think, is he? Wow. Well, Jose is going to have to pinch a bit. He can pinch a bit of angle here. There's not a lot to go by, but he can, and try and run that cue ball around the corner. And it's following the line. And I think that's a pretty good result. That's considering where he was. That is not a bad effort. So the pressure's on the worm to back his partner this time. And you don't want to spend too much time looking at these. Your natural instinct should tell you the pot and you play the shot. If you spend too much time looking at this, you know, you're giving yourself more pressure. But in it goes. So Jose is going to break off in rack number 8. And needing one more to take them through. But once again, I think it's a dry break. But what have we got here? Well, we've got a possible 1-9 combo, and I think, well, who's to say it's not worth having a blast at it? The one will squeeze past the 3. I don't know whether he can hit enough of the 9, but he might as well have a bang at this stage. Yeah, he's had a go. And he's almost got away with it. Easy enough to kick in behind the 1 and send it up the table. Can you see an edge of that 1 ball? No, he can't. So just relying on a bit of luck here to get it safe. It needs to keep rolling. Well, this would be the shot of the night. Is to pot that 1 ball, get the cue ball off the end rail and back up for the 2-9 combo. There's the shot. Needs to play it with right hand English. He's missed the cut, but he had the pace, and if he had enough right hand English on it, he would have probably avoided the 3, and the cue ball would have went back up to there to play the 2-9 combo. That's what he was planning with that amount of pace, but he's missed the 1. Now that's well controlled by Jose, because he's done exactly what we talked about. He's left a worm with surely an unmissable 2-9 combo. As long as he sends a 2 along the rail, that 9 ball has to go in. I mean, it can't go anywhere else. It'll even go to the far jaw and still go in. Yeah, every day of the week that was going in the hole. So match over, and that was again just looking back. If Slim hadn't hit that 3 ball and he'd potted the 1, actually, he had the good pace in that cue ball to get back up to play that shot, and that's the difference between winning and losing. So Jose McEwen and the worm are through. They've won by 5 racks to 3. It's now 5 past 10, guys, or near enough it. Let's have a look at where we are in this tournament. Right, so we've got the hot seat match being played at the moment. It's 6-3. We'll nip in and have a look at that. 6-3 to Black Jagged and Senny against Hustling Howie and Simanx. And there's no handicap in this match either. So this is to see who gets to the final. This might be the last match, depending on how long this goes on. And then I'm afraid I'm going to have to pull the plug and go to bed. But anybody still watching, thanks for your company. Thanks for watching. Thank goodness everything's working. And I noticed, you know, Tin was talking about a championship tourney. Probably Steve's had the idea and then asked to find out what the guys want. I don't know what would be good as a championship tournament. We've already just had the 8-ball bar table World Championships, which finally finished. We've had the US Open. I don't know. I don't know what would generate enough interest for people to play in. So Black Jagged and Senny just needing the one rack to get through to tonight's final. We've got the 9 ball and the 7 ball pretty much locked up. Well, that 7 ball isn't going past the 9. Well, that looks not bad. If the pace takes it in. No, just went to the jaw too soon, or went to the rail too soon. Well, we've got some problems to resolve in this rack before anybody's going to win it. We've got now the 6 and the 8 tied up. Well, Senny's going to have a fairly straightforward cut in this too. He doesn't want to be hitting it too hard though. He wants to. The cue ball's going to head up the left hand side of the table. He's run into the 3, and the cue ball's now going to finish behind the 5. That's unlucky. So Black Jagged out with the jump stick. And he might want to take that one again. But again, no damage done. He's okay, he didn't get the jump, but he's not done anything that's changed the situation. Those balls are still tied up, so the likelihood of Simax and Hustling Howie running this rack are fairly slim unless things start to move on this table. Now that little kiss in the 8 ball will do no harm at all. That's now freed up the 6 ball. So that's one of them open. Well, Hustling Howie has hung up the 4. Concentrating on just getting that cue ball back there for the 5. Now that's going to open up the 7. Now this could be very interesting. That's a good shot by Senny. Now Black Jagged has the angle to actually pot the 5 and draw back across to the left here and leave his partner on the 6. And that's, well, anything but straight, and that is not great. He's going to have to hit this below the equator and stun it. But even then, there's not enough angle to get good on this 7, I don't think. Well, he's squeezed something, but as I say, you know, look at where the cue ball is. It was always going to be a sort of a bit of a guess as to whether they're going to have any shot. Now, does he go for the combo or does he go for the billiard? It looks like he's going for the cut on the 7 onto the 8 ball. Oh, that'll do nicely. He used the rail, but it got the 8 ball in the hole. That's the most important thing. So just these 2 balls for the match. Oh, well, Senny's making sure he's getting the cue ball out, but he's left his partner a long way from this 9 ball. Now let's see if he's aiming right at this 9 ball. Yes, he is. So in it goes. That's Black Jagged and Senny are now in the hot seat, and they're in tonight's final, and Simanx and Hustling Howie are just about to move over to that one loss side. And well, they've actually moved over. That's updated pretty quick, and they're about to play Hustling Howie and sorry, Jose and the Worm in the one loss side final. Right, here's the deal. It's 10 past 10. I will watch this match, and then you're going to have to watch, anybody who's still watching the stream, guys, you're going to have to watch the final on your own in the room. I'm going to have to go, but I'll do my best to get this match in, this one loss side final. My whole body's in shutdown mode to get to bed. Right, so the room is up. They've probably lagged off, which they have done, and Jose is going to break off. And once again, race to 5. 7 ball has gone in. It's a scratch match, no handicap. Sorry, I'll say that again. It's not. That was the last match. It's Team 2's getting the 6 ball. Well, they're getting the 6 ball. They're going to get first bite at the cherry here, but the problem is the 3 ball. 3 ball stuck down there. It's not going anywhere. And, well, that is a very difficult combo, because you're going to have to cut into that 3 to try and chip the 8 into the corner, and the way it is, that is not set good. But he's played it very well. And the other thing is, although the cue ball's close to the rail and the 3 balls up the table, that is a good angle to get the cue ball around. Now, if he can get into it enough, he can avoid the 5. And he's managed that. And now this needs to run though, but he's not hit it. That needed to be there. He needed to get down there a wee bit further. And this is entirely the wrong angle on this 5. Well, he's playing it with inside English, which, you know, not only makes the pot more difficult, but he got the pace in that perfect, because he's left his partner a decent cut in the 5. But it was really a tough shot. So Jose and his partner, well, they're going to have a chance, but they've still got to get from that 6 ball up onto that 9. And this time the Worm has missed. And Simanx, well, remember, Team 2 just need the 6 ball, so this 5 and 6 for the first rack. So you don't have to do anything with the cue ball. Just roll the 6 in, and they're off and running. So it's 1-0 to Hustling Howie. And Simanx to break off in rack number 2. And Well, it's dry. Now, can Jose get the spin on that? Well, I think it's worth playing the little swerve shot round that 3-ball. Well, he's out with the jump stick. Oh, somebody's gone. The worm has gone. I think that's the first disconnect. First disconnect in a tourney for a wee while. And we'll see how long it takes him to get back in. And I'll have a drink in the meantime. That's that bottle gone. Well, the jump has got the desired result. And there's a nice little angle in the 2 to follow through and go around and get the cue ball out for the 3 as long as he avoids hitting that 7-ball. And he's well away from that. How's the luck in the kiss? It's not too bad. Jose's going to need a little draw shot here. Draw over to that right hand side and get a sight on the 4, but not too heavy. He doesn't want to juice this up. And he's played that perfect. Well, it's taken Jose a while to warm up, but he played that shot exactly as it had to be played there. And this time, the worm has left Jose a little angle in the 5. Now again, Jose doesn't need to force anything here, but he needs to pot the 5. That was a poor one. Well, I thought he'd found his mojo. Well, Jose himself says it's terrible, and that's just, you know, not giving enough attention to the shot. And they could find themselves 2-0 behind here. They're very likely to, because remember, Team 2 just need the 5 and 6 ball. So once again, nothing needs to be done with the cue ball. Oh dear. Well, would you believe it? Hustling Howie has played and hung up the 5. Well, this would be a punishing shot for, or a punishing rack here for Jose and the worm to get back into, because I'm sure they didn't expect to get another chance. Now Jose, again, he's back to that one. He's left his partner strung out to dry in this 7. I think Hustling How was asking as to what happened here. I'm not sure whether he was aware a player had disconnected. Anyway, it's 1 rack all. This is the 1 lost side final. I've forgotten already who's through to the final. Who the hell's through to the final? Black Jagged and Senny. Simax has got nothing on here. You can see the edge of the 1. He's just looking to try and hide the cue ball, and that's pretty well hidden. It's an easy enough kick though, because the angle is there past that 8 ball to kick off the side rail and just punch into the 1. Why is he looking at that angle? Trying to kick it up the table that way. Oh, I almost got lucky. Now, let's look at that 3 and 8. Well, it's a combo that can be made, but anybody that's going to play it's going to have to be as straight as they can on the 3 and be playing the right side of the 3 to set that 8 into the pocket, because there's a space between the 8 and the 3, so that combo is going to have to be made. And meanwhile, the worm has left his partner. Well, 3 ball problem's gone, because Simanx has had a blast again, and this time he has left the 2 on. The 3's now out in the open, and it's going to be a long 6 ball, especially if Jose just pots this 3 plain ball. He just doesn't want to hook his partner behind the 8 for this 6 ball. And he's going to run in. Oh no, he's sneaked behind it. And the commentator's eye has done it again. Jose's found the only place you don't want to find. And the worm is going to have to jump his way out of this one. And remember, the pressure is on, because that 6 ball, well, he's not jumping, he tried to kick it. Well, that's as good as a gift as you're ever going to get, because it's ball in hand for Hustling Howie. And it's a 6 ball to go into a 2-1 lead. And I think Hustling Howie's fallen asleep. This is not a good sign. So I wasn't disconnected and my timer ran out, but you go by. Everybody's connected to the server, but you know, everybody's connected at different speeds. So the information that goes between your PC and the server and vice versa the other way is different. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how the game recovers itself. There's nothing you can do about it. It's how the game recovers from how it's stored on the server when a player finally returns to the game. Anyway, it's now 2-1 to Hustling Howie and Simanx, and they've got the break. Excuse me. This looks as if nothing has gone again. Is it going to be a 1-5 to start off? I don't know what he tried there. That's anybody's guess. Somebody will have to explain that one to me. Now, let's have another look at this one. Is the one getting in off the jaw, or does he play the billiard off the one onto the 5? Well, he tried the billiard, and that didn't work. And the one's now pretty much frozen to the cue ball. So Jose should have them in trouble here, but Jose's played far too much and put draw in the cue ball and drawn it away from the 5 and left a 1 on. Well, there's a chance here. Now, if we look at where the 2 is, if you get the right angle on this 2 to try and get that cue ball and move that 3. Now, let's have a look. Well, he certainly didn't want to leave his partner stuck on this rail. And Simax is just looking at potting the 2. Well, the combo can be made. You've got to cut the 3 that way to catch the edge of that 9 to knock the 9 in, and that is an excellent effort, but it just caught the rail. So well, now the 9 ball's hanging over the pocket. Remember, team 2 have got the 6 ball, which is hanging over the middle pocket on the left hand side. That's their extra money ball. And team 1, Jose and the Worm, have a chance to draw back off the 4 and leave the 5-9 combo to square the match up, which looks fairly straightforward. So it's now back to 2-2. And another dry break, I think. Really struggling to get, you know, a couple of balls or a single ball in the break so far tonight from what we've seen. Well, the Worm could have their opponents in a bit of trouble here. Could use that 9 and 3 ball. That's what he's tried. Tried to use those balls as blockers, and I don't think he's got there. He's left it on. Well, that's unlucky. There's plenty of room here to try and hide that cue ball behind those balls. And I think my voice is about to give up. Wait, I'll just click the mic off the now. Well, just a plain ball in the 3 and just run through and leave the 4 into the middle pocket. You don't need to hammer it. Now, likewise with this shot, this is just a dead weight shot just to roll the 4 in and roll to the rail and off the rail and get as close to that 5 down this side. Well, Simax has gone the other side of it. And that is actually finished off not too bad. Slightly the wrong angle, but no major problem. You can just roll that in and leave the angle in the 6. And there's a big window to get onto that 7 ball. In fact, what am I thinking about? They only need to get on the 6, so he just pots the 5. 6 ball's the money ball. Right, let's have a look. Well, the good news is the 6 is off the rail, so just a little push in. And Hustling Howie and his partner back into the lead. Well, if they spent more time playing than typing, we might get this match finished before I have to go to bed. I think we're getting a wee bit of sharking going on here. Trying to get inside somebody's head. Well, there's a lot of balls down this end of the table here, and if you can get the spin on this right hand spin and spin off the railing up, well, he certainly didn't play that, but he could certainly hide the cue ball, but at least his partner can still see an edge of the two. Right, is there anybody still watching this stream? If there's anybody out there, I'm going to have to thank you for your company, and these guys seem to want to have a chat more than play and get this match done with. I'm going to have to thank you for your company and bid you good night. The winners of this match will go through to the final. We could be another 15-20 minutes away before that happens. I'm going to have to go to bed because we've gone to 10:30. These guys are rabbiting on and wasting time, and I don't have the time to sit and watch this. So I am going to say good night, and I'll see you again sometime.